my friends, it's Adam Shively, the creator of the Meltdown Fat Loss Bootcamp and the founder of TransformationCoach.me. We're here today to talk about accountability. Accountability is a big picture topic. It's very important and people get mixed up about it. I've separated out accountability into 3 phases of becoming self-accountable. And I want to cover those with you today. So we're going to dive right in. People mix up these phases all the time. Very, very common. So I want to be distinct with each phase and give you some takeaways on how you can progress through this 3-step process. All right, phase number 1 is the opt-in. This is where people decide that they need some accountability, whether they sign up for a boot camp, maybe some sessions with a life coach or a counselor or a dietitian, or they hire a personal trainer, or they read a new book that has a new program. So there's all sorts of opt-ins. Where people mess this up is they confuse it with actually being accountable. If you sign up and purchase a boot camp, you can't sit back and say, all right, accountable. You haven't done the work yet. This is the recipe. This is where you cook the meal. So we have to separate those 2 things. Huge step. So we're not going to discount that. This is huge. You opt in. You say, I need this. I'm going to commit with time, effort, money, or all of the above, and we're going to do something to make myself get some better results, to progress forward. The phase 2 is when you are accountable to others. So if you buy that boot camp, you have a coach that you have to report into, then you actually do that. You're accountable to others. This is where we assemble what I call accountability anchor points. I believe you need at least 3, so that's your first takeaway. If you're in phase number 2, you need at least 3 accountability anchor points. Something or someone or some people that you're accountable to. It's that coach, that personal trainer. If you sign up for 3 personal training sessions a week, are you going to show up and be accountable to that person that's there? You know they're going to be there. They better be there. And you're going to be there too. Weigh-ins, or a periodic measurement that you know every 3 weeks you're going to have your body fat tested, or every month you're going to have your personal trainer do a fitness assessment on you. You're accountable to that. Even a running group at lunch. A lot of people do this. They have work friends. They say, hey, let's go for a walk every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at lunch. You're accountable to that group. They know who's supposed to be there. You know who's supposed to be there. You can all support each other. So lots of ideas for accountability anchor points. Even your spouse, friends, just having a regular goal-setting conversation with your spouse and say, here's what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to improve my health. Let's talk about it on the first of the month, every month, so that I'm accountable, but it also helps me get it out there and make sure I'm setting goals. So things like that. Phase 2 is being accountable to others. The common mistake people make here is they move from phase 2 to phase 3 too quickly. We have spent a lot of time in our past collecting bad habits, and that led us to the initial phase where we're at, where we decided we needed to make a change. So all those bad habits led to poor health, or a reason why you wanted to get healthier and make some change and start going through this process. It's going to take longer than 4 or 8 weeks to change all of that. People jump the gun. They do an 8-week boot camp or a 12-week program. They're like, all right, on to self-accountability. I've got this. And you've got that initial momentum, and that's why you're kind of flying high and feeling confident. And that's great. But we have to solidify. A lot of you see my transformation timeline video. These 3 phases basically coincide directly with those 3 phases of being coachable, the lifestyle solidification, and then purpose and identity. So this is all about lifestyle solidification. You need to hammer this home for 6 months. In my experience working with lots and lots of people, that's the number we shoot for. 6 months of continuous accountability in some form. So that might be 4 weeks of a boot camp, accountable every day, and then maybe some periodic weigh-ins and checkpoints, and your regular running group, some regular personal training sessions sprinkled in. That's all part of the mix. That's all accountability. Those are all anchor points that will keep you going in the right direction. It's like climbing a mountain. We need to anchor in periodically so that if we fall, we just slip to that last anchor point. Hopefully that's starting to make sense. So then we move into phase 3. Self-accountability, which is different than no accountability. Again, people get that confused a little bit. Like, oh, I'm self-accountable. I don't have to be accountable at all. Not the case. So self-accountability means basically ingrained all of this into your hard drive. It's part of a habit, it's a lifestyle, it's an automatic system. Two great examples, Coach Marcy and Coach Bill, they are on my accountability team. They started out as clients like everybody on my team does. I'm very proud of that. And so they had to opt into a boot camp program. They were accountable for lots and lots of weigh-ins. These two, Marcy and Bill, have been with me for 5, 6, 7 plus years and have weighed in every 2 weeks for 5, 6, 7 plus years. Every 2 weeks, no matter what. They've been accountable, and they're coaches. They're holding others accountable now, but they have the process down. It's working. It's not broke, so we're not going to try to fix it. So in the self-accountability phase, it's more about this is automatic. You don't have to think about it. It's just part of a routine. It makes sense. You're happy with the results. You're happy with the lifestyle that is joined up with those results. So it's not necessarily I'm not accountable anymore. It's not that at all, actually. So I'm not going to even sugarcoat that at all. So takeaways. If you have never done anything where someone else has coached you, I know there's some of you out there that are like, yeah, I've kind of been a lone wolf. I've never had somebody else coach me on something else. Try an opt-in. Find something where you want to learn something, improve, get better, and opt in. And usually it takes a financial commitment. I'm just going to tell you, a funny story is when I first started doing personal training, I gave away my diet program for free. And I was like, all right, here you go. And no one got any results, and no one even did it. It was just like, hand it to your kid and let them draw on it or something. I don't know what they did with the diet. Then I started charging people over $100 for the diet. All of a sudden, results! People had buy-in, they had skin in the game. Like, oh, this is important. I spent money on this, so I'm going to focus on it. So, even this is a free video. How are you going to approach this? It's free coaching, but you're investing your time. Your time is of value to me. Hopefully it's of value to you. So are you going to use this time wisely and take action off of this? So I'm giving you action steps. So think about opting into something with accountability. Then are you going to be accountable to others? I need you to get 3 accountability anchor points. That's your second action step. All right, 3 accountability anchor points. Think about how are you accountable? What's the process? Is it automatic? Let's get a system going, because over 6 months we ingrain that into the new, solidified, healthy lifestyle, and then we move into self-accountability. So if you're in these 2 phases, I want you to come up with an action step to help you progress. If you're in that self-accountability mode, I want you to think of one key thing that you can do to stay there, to solidify that even further. Whether it's adding an additional accountability anchor point, or picking up some new things, maybe going back through the process, learn something new, take things to a whole other level where you have to opt in, become accountable, solidify, and then back to self-accountability. So hopefully these are making sense. I'll give you some action steps. Take action. Next 24 hours, that's my challenge. Take action with at least one of those action steps, and you'll be well on your road to being self-accountable. We'll see you guys next week.